I'm back. Now we're going to talk about ways to organize your Google Drive. Number one, there is no one way. Everybody's files, the way you organize your things are always going to be personal. So I'm just going to kind of give you some tips and some pointers, and then I guess you just kind of have to play. I will be the first person to admit, and I think I already have a few times. Mine is not super organized. There's oftentimes I cannot figure out where my file is. I've suggested to people that if you can't, you can always go into the search drive. Search is a very good friend. You click on, what am I looking for? Maybe I want to find information on summer session, and then it'll pull up all the things that are related to that title. So I guess the first tip is to make sure your titles kind of describe what's in them. So that's always an option when you can't find something. But if you look in your drive, you're going to notice that there's the arrow that shows that you have drop down, and that's going to show you the drop down version of your files. My files, I have some of them that are just this gray color, and that's the default color, and then some of them that are color coded. I just kind of started playing with color coding, so I don't have a whole lot of it. But to make your file a color, you go over to the left-hand side and you find your file, and then you double click on it. And then that gives you all kinds of information or choices. You can change the name. This is where you can make it a starred folder to go in that starred category we talked about. You can rename your folder if you're not thrilled with it, or you can change the color. So you can make it any one of these little fun colors. You can't customize your colors with this yet. But if you like the choices, then you can go for it. So that's one of the first things to do. If you choose, you can color code your files. Then again, you have to think about what your categories are. With mine, I have kind of my school information, and then I have my district information, in a couple different, basically right here. And then we have our NGSS. So it's just kind of how you want to do it. This is my folder. My 5th grade folder is where I live in. It's the one I go to the most because that's where all my school stuff is. So when I click open that, I've created other folders within that. So whenever you have a folder, you can put more folders in it. This is where you're going to go to your new tab, and you click on it, and the top option you have is folder. So you'll click on folder and then give it a name. I'm going to call this plain because I don't really want this one in here right now. I don't think. You never know. I may change my mind. And then hit create, and then it's going to pop up right there. And that's where you can put some new information. So I have my folders by subject. And then I have my assessment, my communication where I put my parents' stuff, just different things that ended up being very important and they needed their own category for. And then once you go into my my folders, then there's subcategories. So in my language arts, and you can see that on my left side, I left that open. You can close it. You don't have to look at all that if you don't want to. Again, I broke up my language arts into different kinds. I've got informational, figurative language, read alouds, thematic, however you want to do that. So you just kind of have to play around with, as you're starting to create your files, just like anything else you file, what kind of topics are important to you. The super easy part is moving your materials into a file. So let's say I have this Common Core cheat sheet, and I'm going to it's nowhere right now. I'm going to put it up in assessments. So all you do is click on it and slide it. It always gives you this question, and I always just click OK. And now you're going to see that it's gone from my lower level, and it went up into that folder. So this is pretty slick, pretty easy. You can just slide whatever you want to into each other. So maybe you decide that you want to combine some things. You want to combine your organizers and your notebooking. So you just click on it, slide it over, and put it in there. And if you change your mind, you can slide it and put it back. So it's moving your things is a pretty simple thing.